Abraham Hicks calls it getting from there to there. We see ourselves in the future self, in a certain way that is different than the current self. But if we keep behaving the current way that we've always behaved, the future self is going to be the exact same self as it is today. So today we have to start acting like what we want to be there. So we have from there to there. It's not from here to there.
Welcome to the world of energy, where science meets spirit. Ancient wisdom merges with cutting-edge knowledge, and the possibilities for a healthier, happier you are endless.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of Energy Works. My name is Blaine. I'm doing a solo episode today. And the topic I have prepared for today is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, which I'm going to umbrella term as self-care. But before you flip this off and say, I don't need to hear more about self-care, I want to talk to you about what I mean by that. Over the past several episodes here, but also courses I've been teaching and things that I've been writing about, I've been talking a lot about the water element and our well. When we are born, this is in traditional Chinese medicine and 5-element theory, our well can be our qi, our energy. When we're born, our well is full. And we are full of energy, we are full of qi. And little kids have tons of qi. They can run around outside in the cold with no coat on. They stay warm. They're very energetic. And as we age and age and age, the water level in our well goes down. And we can never fill our well all the way back up, but we can replenish our well. And as we age, that gets more and more important for our health and vitality. And one of the side effects, symptoms, I could maybe say, that I see when someone isn't doing this really well is that they put off doing things today that will help them be the person they want to be in the future. Things like, I won't exercise, I'm too tired to exercise today, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I don't want to meal prep my healthy food today, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do this next week. I'll start on Monday. And it becomes an energetic habit to have that kind of thinking. But what it comes from is that we don't have the energy to do it in the moment. So we just say, we'll do it in the future, we'll do it in the future, we'll do it in the future. But in order for the future us, the future me, the future you, to be the person we want to be, we have to do the things now to get us there. Abraham Hicks calls it getting from there to there. And what is meant by that is that we see ourselves in the future self in a certain way that is different than the current self. But if we keep behaving the current way that we've always behaved, the future self is going to be the exact same self as it is today. So today we have to start acting like what we want to be there. So we have from there to there. It's not from here to there. Here we have to change into the person that is there so that there we are that person. Moving from there to there. And when our well is dry, when we are energetically unbalanced, then instead of saying, yes, I will exercise, I will make the healthy meal, I will work on the project, I will do the new job application, I will go shopping for the new car, whatever it is that we want to do, we keep putting off to the future. We feel energetic enough to do it today, energetic, motivated, because we are balanced. And I'm going to share with you a way to think about self-care, but Before that, I'm going to dive into the history a little bit, as I guess the more current history. It comes from the 1960s, and it's the activism from the 1960s. And there's a famous quote that it is kind of attributed to why we say self-care in the way that we say it today, which now I guess is 65 years later. It was Audre Lorde. She was an activist of Black feminist thought, and she said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." It's not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. I really like how she said that. Many of you know that I work on animal activist initiatives, and I am surrounded by women who do much more than I do. And they're out in the shelters, they're working very tirelessly for the animals, and they get burned out. It's called compassion fatigue, but it's not just in animal activism where you get compassion fatigue. There's many people working with children, working with battered women, working in other countries, working with poor, working with sick, where you're putting yourself out so much to take care of others, and your heart is just breaking all the time that it becomes overwhelming, and people burn out and have to step away or take breaks or remove themselves from the situation. But they have been potentially lacking in their self-care all along the way. So their energy is draining and draining and draining. And then they reach the point that they can't do it anymore. And I think that's what she's talking about in that quote, taking care of herself all the time so that she can keep doing it. She can keep at it. It's for the longevity. It's for the long-term good of the cause, that all along the way, you're taking care of yourself. So whatever your cause is, taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, having healthy longevity, being around a long time for your grandkids, whatever it may be, this like, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, isn't serving us in the long run. And I think it's coming from a place of imbalance today. And we bring ourselves back in balance by taking care of ourselves. Even the women's healthcare initiative stuff came from women who were exhausted and frustrated by the patriarchal healthcare system. So they created women's healthcare clinics so that women could go and have a place to take care of themselves by women in a setting that was focused on women instead of trying to do it in the male-dominated healthcare, which we're still quite a bit under today. So balancing future me goals with the current me wants and needs. That is where I think we have to find the dotted line between what the current me wants and needs, but I also have the future me, and I have wants and needs out there too. So how do I get from point A to point B? And the term self-care gets sticky. It doesn't have a good definition anymore. It came out of this activism in the 60s, and then in the 2010s, the wellness influencers on social media got a hold of self-care and kind of made it be a whole bunch of different things. And the fact that there is no one universally agreed upon definition, I think can make people just want to shut off the podcast when they hear that someone's talking about self-care. So we each have to define it for ourselves. That's what I really believe. If you are a working mother without a lot of financial resources and you have a couple of jobs and you're raising kids, saving up the money and hiring a babysitter so that you can go to the dentist is self-care. That is a very intentional act of self-care. For someone else, maybe getting a pedicure is self-care. Maybe someone would call a pedicure pampering, and maybe going to the dentist not self-care, right? Like everyone's going to have their different labels for what it means. And so all that matters is that you come up with the labels that work for you. What fills your well? What is it that fills your well so that you are in a balanced place and you can look at your future self and where you want to be and start behaving today in the way that you want your future self to be. So I have some buckets, maybe to call it. Most people, I am on video on YouTube. Most people listen to this podcast audio, not watching. So I'm not putting up slides or anything, but if you like to take notes, I will go through this categorically, or you can just listen and remember what resonates for you. So in self-care practices, I have 7 categories. 7 buckets, 7 categories, whatever you want to call them. One is movement, also nutrition, general health and wellness, social connection, creativity and personal development, comfort and relaxation, and ease of living. So I'll give you some examples. Your movement self-care can be yoga, cardiovascular exercise, weight training, going for a walk, going for a hike, swimming, cycling, dancing, sex. These can all be in your movement self-care, whatever works for you in that category. Nutrition, making sure you eat a serving of vegetables with every meal, prepping your meals for the week, drinking a glass of water many times a day, eating enough protein. These can all be in nutrition self-care. General health and wellness, getting a good night of sleep, going for your annual checkup. Taking time for your doctor's appointments can fall in self-care. Taking your medications that you're supposed to take, your prescribed medications. Talking to a therapist, going to a specialist about symptoms, meditating. All of these in general health and wellness. Social connecting. Planning a date night with a partner, scheduling dinner with friends, calling in on a friend to check in, joining a meetup group of like-minded folks so you can make new friends, going to a group fitness class. All of these can be social self-care. Creativity and personal development. Take an interesting class, pursue a new hobby, read a magazine or book, write in your journal, paint, draw, color. Learn how to play an instrument, set a daily intention. All of these are in your creativity and personal development. Comfort and relaxation. Take a hot shower or bath. Go to a sauna or steam room. Get a massage, a manicure, a pedicure, a facial, a haircut. Wrap up in a weighted blanket. Cuddle up with your pet or your partner. Comfort and relaxation. And the last one is ease of living. This is one I think that many of us could do better on. Hire a grocery or meal delivery service. Have the house professionally cleaned. Order takeout so you have no dishes to clean up. Request help from family or friends when you need help. Or partner up with friends to take turns watching each other's kids so everybody gets a night off to recharge. Ease of living. Working with other people or hiring help so that you have some time to yourself. So I invite you, thinking of all of these categories under the umbrella of self-care, movement, nutrition, general health and wellness, social connection, creativity and personal development, comfort and relaxation, and ease of living. What are some that you could write down, think about, and put in your calendar to fill your well and help you be more balanced so that it's not, I'll do it tomorrow, when you need to do the things that feel harder for you, you have the energy to do them today, which takes care of your today self, but also helps your future self be the future self you want to be. So that's it for today. Just a short episode. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Energy Works. Alrighty, energy fans, that's a wrap on another positively charged episode of Energy Works. Lauren, this is the part where we get to use our energy puns.
It's been electrifying, hasn't it, Blaine? We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
If you're feeling amped up and you want to keep your energy flowing, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform.
And we'd love to hear from you. So please take a moment to leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates. So light up our inbox.
And spark a conversation with your friends to tell them about us. And we'll see you next time on Energy Works.